Mm. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Trust the Tape. Patent pending, trademark, not to be infringed. No, I don't have anything like that. But this might be Trust the Tape, and it's good to see you guys. My name is Jeff. And I'm joined by former Cowboy scout and a man with a Super Bowl ring from scouting for the Packers, the great Bryan Broaddus.
Hey, Brian.
Who you can hear.
Morning, Jeffrey.
Yeah. You can hear Brian all over the place. Right here with me. You can hear him on 105.3 The Fan. Looks like he's at spring training. You can hear him with Vach. You can hear him on Cowboys.com. You can hear him on Love the Star. He's on all the things. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Good morning, Jeffrey. Yeah, good morning, Jeffrey. Sorry I interrupted you there. Yeah, out here in Surprise, Arizona for a little baseball. I was talking with you in our little pre-show meeting. The morning show is at the Combine, and I'm not going to lie, I'm having big-time FOMO right now. So
I think it makes sense, though. Brian's got a lot of insight into the bullpen, and Chop's a big Combine guy. So
we're rolling right along, man. We're rolling right along. I sat there. I got on that plane coming to Phoenix, and I think I was at the look and I saw the gate. It said like Indianapolis. I'm like, what the hell am I doing on this plane going to Arizona? But yeah, here we are. It's really nice out here, and but great to be with you as always.
I'd like to shout out the guy who says Jeff's hair is on point today.
I was about to say, what did you shower today?
It's too long to do anything up here, and so I was just like, what if I do this stuff? And so I'm going real white guy hair these days. Just going for it. We have Cowboy and NFL draft things to discuss, and per usual, if you're here in the chat, you can fire any questions you might have. We'll answer them if they're incredible questions. We'll also answer them if we're bribed via Super Chat. Those ones will definitely get answered. I get excited when people tag me about, because I know you're ahead of me on the draft stuff. I know you've seen more guys than I have, but when I've seen a guy that you haven't, and then people tag me because they're like, Vach and Brian talked about your guy, and I'm like, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, how are you up on linebackers? Have you kind of got that one under control? No? Okay.
I've seen like 6. But I've been getting tagged about my Oregon running back, my run MF and face Oregon running back, and
James,
and my Texas run fast running back, the guys I love. You know what you should do is just draft both of those guys, and then you're good to go for 4 years, and you don't worry about it. But no, it's exciting. It's exciting when I see guys that I love. That and I can't say that like I'm an outlier on the Oregon running back Jordan James because the reason I watched him is Dane put out his updated top 100 and I saw him in there and I'm watching him like, holy crap, there's Marshawn Lynch all over again. And then Jadon Blue, everybody, I don't see him like even ranked anywhere, and I'm like, this dude's awesome. Give the ball to him and watch him go zoom. Do seeing guys like that make you think about Genty at 12 and go, elsewhere?
It helps. It really does help. I think the thing that I'm learning about with Blue, the more that I talk to folks, and it's like I did the work, and I think you're absolutely right about the player. The kid just destroys angles. He catches the ball well.
Seems like he might be a wild ass.
The one thing that people will point to is though that he puts the ball on the ground.
Yeah, he fumbled 4 times early in the year. Yep.
Yeah. And that's the only thing. That's the only thing. And and you watch him. You watch him take the ball to the corner, and you watch inside pursuit, and inside pursuit ain't getting there. And you're like, whoa, okay. So yeah, it's and with the Oregon runner, man, what a tough kid he is. I mean, you go back and you could watch the games that they had, the game against Penn State in the Big Ten championship. You go back and watch the game against Ohio State. Those are tough defenses to have to deal with. And the kid will take it, and he will get to the hole, and he'll get through the hole, and he'll run over somebody, and he'll bounce off another. And so, yeah, it encourages me that the depth of the running back room continues to grow. Whereas, and I know Trevor here asked about Damian Martinez. I believe he's from Miami. I haven't seen him yet, but there you go. Just continue to let that room grow and grow and grow. And then, it'll, I think it'll take care of itself when that day comes.
Well, I know I've seen, I saw stuff about Stephen Jones in morning news. I don't know if
He might be. They
David
might have got
Moore.
him. Yeah, they might have got him. Stevens. He goes to the combine a week early to do competition committee stuff, and so there was a way that we used to be able to get him, like on a Tuesday. That he would be available, and maybe he got there early, and David got him a little early. So good for David. Yeah.
I'll give people some behind the scenes about the combine, and I have no idea how I got lucky enough in life to just do this part, right? I like to watch tape. I like to talk about things. I don't have to go chase people around for quotes. The life of a beat writer seems really, really hard. When we go to the combine, I go to the Slippery Noodle and hammer beers. And if you're a beat writer, like you're sitting in a hotel lobby all day seeing if A. Jones comes down.
Yeah.
Like just you're just sitting.
You're playing defense. You're playing defense is what you're doing. You really are.
Guarding to see if you can find A. Jones. And
yeah,
Jeff and Bryan are carrying Hellman home. He's trying to quit life because it's cold outside.
He stops. It's literally 4 below zero. And Hellman sits down on the curb and starts laughing and goes, "I can't go any further." I felt like it was at the Star Wars movie where like Han Solo has to save Luke while he cuts the he cuts to get him warm. I felt like I was
Dave quit. He was ready to die. He just said, "I'm done."
He was ready to die in Market Square in there in Indianapolis. But no, that was a lot of fun. One of my fond memories of all the years I've been going to the combine a ton. I mean, that's the one city you could drop me in the middle of, and I could tell you how to get around everywhere you want to go. But one of my fun memories was you and Jared Goff at the podium. And Jared Goff, and they're talking about his small hands. And
they were talking about interceptions. I was not defending.
No, you were talking about small hands though too, and you're like, but like he was going on and on and on. You're like, yeah, tell him, Jared, tell him, yeah, you tell him.
How it went. Somebody asked him about interceptions, and I did answer for him, and he was like, yeah, that.
Yeah, you were. And then there was KT, and he was looking at Zeke like he was just like, "Oh my gosh, I love this guy." And, you can see KT. I took a picture of KT in this cute face where he was looking at Zeke. But
and your guy Paxton Lynch looked like the
oh God
up there at the podium. I wrote
Scooby Doo.
I saw
Scooby Doo. I should have right there just made a U-turn when I saw that guy walk up there. I should have just said, "Oh geez, what am I doing here?" But yeah, a lot of great memories of the combine and over the years, man. I mean, I've been going to that thing since 1992. I never believed, Jeff, that they would ever put it on TV. I was thinking, why would anybody want to? I mean, it was like a secretive deal. Like the workouts,
Rick Gosselin and Pete Prisco,
and I mean, it was Jeff Legwell. There was the original combine group of reporters, I think the number was 8. I think Shireen Williams was in that thing too, and Mother Football. And so, but yeah, those guys, there were 8 guys and gals covering the combine. That's it. Now you go and it's a convention center. I mean, literally, it's like Radio Row of the Super Bowl. So, combines come a long way, man. People love the draft. That's the great thing about it. People love the draft.
But where I was going with the Steven stuff is
we were good.
There's a couple of interesting things that I saw in there. The idea that it sounds like the Cowboys are prioritizing Osa Odighizuwa, might end up using a franchise tag. Who knows? It was all very generic things in there, but it also sounded like their order of operations where we want to figure out Osa and then we'll try to figure out Micah Parsons. And I just wonder if that means that they're about to do what they always do and just not get around to the Micah Parsons thing, screw themselves, let him get 1 year further down the road. He'll have all the leverage. They'll pay all the money, and then they'll bitch about the salary cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's, it always is talked about, but never fully executed, so it's, but the one thing that Indianapolis does do for the Joneses, other than they enjoy the food there and the cocktails there a lot, and that bus.
Miller Lite on the bus when Jeff's there.
Yeah, Jeff and Jerry. Jerry asks if somebody wants a drink, and Jeff says, "I'll have a Miller Lite," and Jerry hands him a Miller Lite. That's the great thing about being on the bus. But the thing that the bus being there does, they meet with everybody there. they meet with, with all those agents, and they all come through, and they have a daily schedule where they bring people over. That bus is kind of their way of being able to kind of try and hammer some deals out. But we'll see. I mean, maybe it's their own deals, and it's not not anybody else's deals, any other players' deals. But a lot of tampering going on at the combine. A lot of
conversations.
A lot of tampering going on at the combine, Jeff. I'm just going to say that right now.
What do you think the odds that because I saw that they also were talking about Jordan Lewis and Rico, and if there's no big market for them, they sure sound like two guys that you should bring back.
Well, who are some of your better players that played this year? Rico and Jordan Lewis.
I would like to tell Steve. I have a message for Stephen Jones. Because he was like, well, you see what he did in like half a season when we decided to reestablish the run or whatever. You saw what happened in a half season when you told Dad, your buddy can't play anymore. Stop it. That's what happened. Don't pretend Rico's thing was, well, a half season we decided to start running the ball. No. Stop putting bad players on the team.
I agree.
Let good ones play.
I agree.
That's all.
No, I think
and I could see you bring back Rico, and now like the two guys we just mentioned, Jordan James, the Oregon back, who I really like. I think if you have Rico, you don't even worry about that, right? You just worry about complimenting him with the scat back. And so now we're talking Jadon Blue, we're talking
Sampson from Tennessee, maybe. I like him a lot as a kind of that guy.
Yeah, but does he go too high to be like your other guy? Like I'm trying to think what I do on day 3.
I see what you're doing. You're taking
maybe have you watched the SMU guy, Rashard Smith?
Oh yeah, he's a converted wide receiver. My guy, this guy's this guy that guy might be too high too.
Really?
Yeah. When you start to kind of break those guys down, I mean,
I put him in like the 5th, I think.
No, that's a 3rd round player, Jeff. Sampson, Harvey, Jumpkins, Blue, Smith. Those are the guys, man. James, those are guys right there. So yeah, I mean, I
want them to get to the 5th round. I'll take that one. Whoever's there.
No, I really do. I like what you said about Blue, and I like Smith a lot. I do believe the Cowboys they're looking at Smith from SMU. That's gonna be a Dallas Day guy, so that'll be something to keep your eye on there.
Can I tell you a running back secret that nobody wants me to say out loud?
What's that?
I've always said it, kind of joking. Like when CD gets back there and they hand it to him, he does a great job. Receivers are better than running backs at running back. Like Rashard Smith was a wide receiver and couldn't get on the field for 3 years, played running back for 1 year, and now he's going to get drafted.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
He catches the ball well too, though. I mean, and I mean, as for a wide receiver, for the things that SMU does with him, put him out wide. You can watch him along the sideline, the end zone. I mean, he's got to understand about his feet. Catches well. Yeah, that's why I think that he is going to be a value. He's going to run really, really well. I have a feeling too. So,
okay, now let's get to the things that I put in the title, because I never know where we're going to end up. That's the secret of our show. We just kind of go, which is great because you can go anywhere when you're talking draft with two people who actually are watching the players. You never know where it's going to end up. But I asked people for some questions because I needed a title for our video.
Sure. Gotcha.
Somebody asked me about boom or bust potential in the first round that you can see the Cowboys being interested in. And I think that's
Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan falls that's Walter Nolan for me.
Leave my guy out of this. Okay.
No, I mean, I'm serious. Right. And I'm serious. And I'm serious about that. And Walter Nolan could be an all-pro. And he could absolutely be a guy that's just an okay player. It could go either way for him. I mean, he's got film that will make you pick him at 12, and he's got film that will make you pick him at 76 or 75 or whatever. In a film. Yeah.
And so like that is this draft to me. Like he's I think one of the more clear cases where it's like the former number 1 overall recruit. The physical tools are absolutely incredible. If you just watch the highlights, you'd be like, oh yeah, you take him number 1 overall, and you watch all of the film, and you're like, do I put a first round grade on him or not? And I think I ultimately settled on cheating, which I love to do, which I don't think you support.
Put a 1-2 on him.
Yeah, put a cheater grade on him. Yeah, put a cheater grade on him. 1-2. But I do think that's the case with a lot of the guys, and that's what opens up the idea of Ashton Jeanty to me, because you feel so confident about him. And that's the reason that I always come back to when we're talking about wide receiver. I end up talking about Emeka Egbuka a lot, who in most years, like, I don't think I'm putting a first-round grade on him. But in this class, it's just it's so many guys that Mykel Williams, the Georgia edge.
Oh, Mykel Williams.
I have him as a
Mykel, he's next. That's the next guy out of my mouth right there.
He could absolutely bust. He could absolutely, or he could be a guy that's a solid run player that's never a good pass rusher, right? That could be. But I've also watched at that, like, he's a built in the lab defensive end looking dude that is athletic enough that you're like, holy crap, he could be a double-digit sack guy if he figures out how to do that. So, like, yeah, bust potential at premium positions. Walter Nolan, Mykel Williams, Jalen Walker.
Banks from Texas.
Yeah, I mean, he could be a not great tackle. I don't think he could be a bust of a guard.
He's got, if you watch some of the later games that were played in the playoff, a little bit more of a struggle for him.
Okay. And I think that's the best thing for Ashton Jeanty in this draft, is that I don't think the O-line guys at the top aren't great.
I'll say this.
I want to tell LSU something, because it's not our guy Will Campbell's fault. But I don't know why LSU has their offensive linemen lining up like Ashton Jeanty.
Oh, standing straight up.
You don't like, and so now my notes are like, I don't know. Can this guy like get low, initiate contact, roll his hips, and unlock into people? I don't know, because they got him standing straight effing up for the whole time. It's annoying. I don't like it.
They do. You know what? It's funny. You could even put Tet McMillan in there for some boomer bust potential.
I think you could put Luther Burden there too. That's why I keep coming back to Egbuka. I'm like, I don't think I would grade him higher than both of them, but I'm way more confident that he ain't busting.
No, there's certain players in this draft that I don't think would bust, and I think Egbuka is one of them, and I do think Ashton Jeanty is another. And as you know, on defense, you're kind of in that mode right now where I feel like that if you look at guys like, to me, it's tough, because I don't think Graham will bust.
No, Graham won't bust. Graham might get 3.5, 4 sacks a year. That would be his version of busting, but he's still going to be a high octane, making plays in the run game, good NFL player.
Yeah.
No matter what, he's going to be a good NFL player. Yeah. And I think, who are some of the other guys like that?
In the comments there, Paul Martin asked about Green. He
could bust.
The edge from Marshall.
He could bust. I everything about his tape looks really, really good. Like, he's stronger than he should be for his size. He's got pass rush moves. He's a really good athlete. He could be, he could be DeMarcus Ware. Small school, comes in and dominates. He could also be, all of his tape was against bad players. His Senior Bowl was okay. And be careful. Like, how high are you going to pick him? These are the best things for Ashton Jeanty. Will Johnson, maybe the top drafted corner. He didn't even have great tape this year.
There's a shot that, and I'm going to ask you this question as a personnel man, Jeff, to another personnel man.
I'm just a guy with a camera and a mic. I love that Vach I'm stealing. I'm
man, Vach is great with that. He'll come up with ones every once in a while. You just laugh to yourself. And I'm going to ask you this question, though. Would you draft Will Johnson, corner from Michigan, if you never saw him run a 40?
Yes, I'm not as scared of his speed as some people seem to be.
Okay. Then
I think he runs well enough.
You're on a different hill than everybody else then right now.
I don't mind that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Yeah. I'm not afraid. I like living on my hill. It's a great place.
No, I mean, and that's cool. And like I say, you do the work. So that's why I asked you the question. I think there are a lot of teams that would be like, man, if the guy is not going to run, there's two positions that are really speed dependent. I think it's wide receiver and corner that you'd like to know. You'd like to know the time of those guys.
Yeah, like running back, I could not possibly care less how fast you are. I mean, I want a fast guy because I want to make big plays.
Right.
but you don't have a direct opponent.
Right.
Corners and receivers are direct opponents. If you're faster than me, I'm in trouble. If you're quicker than me, I'm in trouble. Running backs have a whole freaking car crash in front of them. There is it's me versus him. You know, I'm playing the position.
Yeah.
Let me knock out these supers. John's in here and we appreciate it. How about Genty at 12, Besh at 44, Fannin at 76, weapon up the offense. And just to be clear, Besh and Genty, Boise State running back, Jack Besh, wide receiver, TCU, and it's Harold Fannin, the Bowling Green tight end.
Yeah, I
wouldn't take the tight end that high, and I know his numbers were massive.
Yeah.
Some guys I would have to, like, if I were an actual personnel man, I'd have someone else watch them after I did. I'd be like, look, it throws me off. He runs weird.
Yeah.
He runs weird, and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, this is going to sound very much, against, I think with Fannin, I really like Helm, the tight end from Texas. Him.
Ooh, you want to know who I really like?
Mason Taylor from LSU is another really good one that you can kind of.
I like your guy. I like your LSU guy.
And I don't mean to be, and I'm not trying to homer it up. I mean, Mason Taylor. I put Mason Taylor out there a long time ago. I've watched that kid play every weekend, his whole entire career at LSU. LSU is known for their wide receivers. He is one of the best players that LSU's had in the last 2-3 years. Seriously, when you watch what he does down in, down out, and catching the ball, clutch plays, game-winning plays, game-changing first downs when it's third down and it looks hopeless, and he comes up with a 17-yard catch. Watch him. He's Jason Taylor's son and Joy Taylor's nephew.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, his dad's a Hall of Famer from the Dolphins.
I think he's a standard tight end plus. Like the scouting report is, everybody watching this, what a standard tight end looks like.
Yeah.
It's that with a little bit more. Like he's got a little bit more than you would expect at tight end in terms of, I think, movement and ability to kind of win in a route like that. LSU tight end's a nice player. I think he's a second round guy. Second, third at the latest.
I don't know. Yeah, I got him in the third. Jeff, I know a lot of people, I don't know if any super chats are left on this, but people are asking about Deuce Vaughn. Me personally, I've moved on from Deuce Vaughn. I just have. I think that you have to just completely.
You're hiring the K-State coach. That means it's Deuce Vaughn time, Brian.
Yeah,
you got to connect those dots.
You get a K-State center in there too. But yeah, I'm trying to get better there. I'm honestly trying to get better there, and I think, to me, I've kind of seen, I kind of understand, where he is. Deuce Vaughn's his family, Chris, good scout, and all that, but I need that position. That room has to be better than it was.
Yeah, I think he, and unfortunately, because of where he was drafted, it changes things a little bit. But I'm going to use a guy who was drafted way higher. If Tyler Guyton's going to win a job, that's cool. Yeah. I'm not building my team assuming that you're starting here. I'm not building my team assuming that Deuce Vaughn is getting carries on it. And you're clearly better than somebody,
sure,
then you get some. You're under contract. We'll see you in camp, but I'm not building it as if you're one of my top 2 running backs.
I am trying to, and I could say that about the wide receivers too.
Yeah.
Tolbert and, Adams, all those guys. I mean,
see you at camp. See you at camp. Job.
Yeah, but I'm not relying on you to be a 2 or a 3 or a 4 right now.
Mingo too, and I know that they're going to be hopeful because they traded something for him, but you shouldn't have done that. I'd love to have that 4th round pick. We'd be talking about which running back you're taking there. That's what we'd be talking about. It's going to be 2 years in a row. The perfect pick for a running back is not on your team, but thank God you got Trey Lance and Jonathan Mingo, and I hope Mingo works out. I hope everybody works out. Yeah. This, I think, is a good question. The lunatic in the super chat. Can a new O-line coach and staff develop Tyler Guyton and his perceived deficiencies from the neck up? And he did say sub and like, so make sure you hit the like button. And that is what I don't know if fear is the right word, but when you just look at how many things they need, I wonder how they're going to be able to invest in offensive line with a higher pick. And I worry that they won't. So can you see the fact that I think you've upgraded your staff can make TJ Bass or Brock Hoffman, if they're a starter, Tyler Guyton, whatever, create the offensive line you already have into the line that you hope to have. Because I think until we see what they do in free agency, it's hard to think offensive line's what they'll prioritize because they have too many needs.
Yeah, I agree. I don't, I would be really surprised if they were to address that. They might address it in the second round if the right player's there, maybe a guard or something. But yeah, there's, to me, the offensive line, they've got to find a way, and they've got to hope that, between their coordinator and their new line coach, with the experience that they have, that Adams at the Cardinals, he worked well with less. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you gotta be able to. The thing with Guyton is it's the penalties and it's the maturity, and he needs to right now with that strength staff being there. He needs to be in there working and getting stronger and working on his flexibility and working on his steps and everything that he could work on, his hands, but he also needs to work on the mental aspect of the game. And that is to, the guy has not played a lot of games in his career. He didn't play a lot of games that, he got hurt during training camp. It set him back. He missed time. And I think they gave up on him. I think the coaches gave up on him because they were trying to win games. And I think that now you have a staff. He's got a fresh start here, but if he goes in there and continues to not take the game seriously like he needs to, well, then it's just going to be something that they missed on.
Yeah, that would be a problem. Dirk, thanks for listening, Dirk. I'm more concerned about how the new OC and O-line coach can make the guy we paid better in Steele. That is the tough part, is you just got so many guys and Steele
needs to make them all better. Needs to make them all better. I mean, Steele got better once they replaced Martin.
Yeah.
I mean, the health of the right guard actually, the right guard, was that's once that got replaced. I mean, Steele played better. See, and people are saying, and I'm looking at the chat, people are saying he's a natural right tackle. Guyton's a natural right tackle.
He didn't.
There's questions
he played
about
it. He played it.
Yeah.
Guyton was always a Guyton was a guy.
He was the tail end. He was the tail end of the tackle run, and you just don't naturally say, oh well, he's a right tackle. No, I mean he's if he doesn't do the things that we're talking about, he's not good at right or left tackle.
Well, and he was he was raw clay. Like he was, wow, look at how big he is and how well he can move for being that big. That's what Guyton was. And that's enough to get you in the end of the first round in an NFL draft. I thought he was a guy, him and this made me proud of myself. Him and the BYU kid, Kingsley
Suamalatia.
Those are the two guys that I was like, man, if him and Guyton, like if you have them starting as a rookie, I think you're in trouble. And Kingsley got benched, and Guyton got benched, and I went, told you, which is dumb. I don't mean to cheer against people, but
no,
good. Yeah, the traits guys starting as an offensive lineman as a rookie. That's something you're gonna have to worry about a little bit. Hold on. Where's the other thing that I had? I got to find it. It's on my notepad somewhere. Wrong notepad. With all the team needs, now this is my guy. If a blue chip player doesn't fall to you at 12, any interest in trading back with Buffalo for 30, 56, and 62? Trade chart has this pretty even.
Yeah. Where's Buffalo now? Are they 27? What are they at?
30, 56. So it would be for a late one and then 2 second rounders. And I tell you, I do think it's a meat and potatoes draft. I want all the picks I can get in that range. I want to be at 12 for now, but let me know what happens there. Because another guy we didn't mention is a boomer bust guy whose tape I love. Like Jalen Walker at 12. I want him.
Sure.
But when the staff is like, well, we have Parsons and he's our small rusher. What are we doing with you? Are we using the 12th overall pick on an off the ball backer? Can we find ways to rush both of you? Are you our second edge? Like, okay, I could be convinced to trade down and be like, all right, well, start giving me the names now that you have.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, Jackson, the guard from Ohio State, at 30. Booker, maybe from Alabama at 30.
Booker, no doubt.
Okay.
Booker, no doubt.
I have Jackson better. Okay. How about Johnson, the running back from Iowa?
I like Hampton better.
Okay, Hampton, you can look at that one. How about maybe Campbell, the linebacker from Alabama?
Oh, I could do that. Because I think he also offers a little bit of that. If you want to, your NASCAR package time, I think he can go line up and rush quarterback too.
Sure. Do you like any of those edges at the Ole Miss kid? You like him at 30?
Probably not. He's fine.
Like any of those wide receivers at 30? Would you take Besh? You take Besh before he gets to the second round?
I absolutely wouldn't take Besh that high.
Okay.
Let's see.
See what you're doing right now. What you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Is you're convincing me I don't need to make this trade.
No, we don't need to go down that far. It's too far.
That's what I'm saying. I was trying to kind of. You didn't seem very comfortable.
Like if I could have Ibuka or if I could have Barron, the Texas corner.
Sure.
I think Campbell works there. I think if you have a Michael Williams falling, Walter Nolan, like I think where I really want to be 20.
Yeah.
Give or take 20 to 25, where I could take Golden, the Texas receiver, or Ibuka or Walter Nolan.
Sure. I think the perfect spot actually is you pick the extra 3 back up from Arizona and go. I think they're right behind you at 15.
Yeah.
And you can maybe pick up an extra 3 there or talk them into that.
That's a party. Yeah. We love that. All right, Brian, you have to go baseball. And by that, I mean that I have to go to work. But that's Bryan.
I'm about to go watch. I got to watch some more tape. By the way, watch this kid, Peoples, the tackle from Virginia Tech.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll watch him.
Fun 3 technique for you to watch.
Will the front office get into a bidding war for J. Lou? Absolutely not. But if he doesn't have a big market, they'll sign him. And that'll be great because then we won't have to be freaking out completely about corners. All right, everybody have a great day. Make sure you watch the DLLS Cowboys show today. Make sure you listen to the G-Bag Nation. Make sure you find Brian everywhere that he freaking is. And then everybody love each other. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through.
Hey, Brian.